Hey everyone, we're here with fucking Will and Karll from Gridiron. Gridiron are, I'm gonna call them hardcore, but it is like metallic fucking hardcore, dude. Again, I know I was just telling you, Will, like the fucking guitars throughout the album are super fucking awesome. And I'll tell you, like still playing for keeps, that little remix in there has like the traditional like hip hop shit. I fucking love how that like breaks right in the, right like in the middle of the album. You're like, this is fucking cool. So, guys, thank you very much for your time for coming to hang out and chat with me tonight.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for having us. We're happy to be here.
Fuck yeah. So let's like get into it. Were you guys like Call of Duty friends and going, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. We need to do something for real.
We were friends way before Call of Duty. It just so happened that that was like the thing that we were doing for like 16 hours a day, and it got to the point where we were like getting kind of burnt out on it. So I just hit up Will one day and was like, "Hey, could you write some guitar tracks that I could just rap on?" And that is the seedling that has now grown into Gridiron. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I've
Yeah.
known Carl for a long time and touring and stuff and playing Philly and became super tight with a bunch of the Philly dudes over the years. Like when we first met, it was just like, oh man, we're like exactly the same. This is like finding our like duplicates in another city, which was awesome. So always jived super well with all the Philly dudes. So I'm based out of Michigan. And so during COVID, obviously we're not going anywhere. So you're talking to people from everywhere. You're talking to all your friends you haven't seen in forever. And a lot of Call of Duty sessions, and we're finally just like, man, we got to do something a little more creative here. And there's tons of different like iterations of bands that never came to fruition and just like playing video games with friends, but this one stuck, and it was never like we had the intention to even play a show. So everything that we do is just like a blessing to me, where I'm like, man, this is awesome. And we get to do all these things and talk to all these different people and play these great shows that it's never lost on me. So that's really how it started, though. It's just as simple as a text and writing some riffs, and here we are.
That's cool as fuck. It's like first props to you guys for doing something productive through all of the COVID shit because I find there are like two types of people. The people that go, I can't sit around and just do this forever. And the people that go, fuck it, dude. Let's just not do shit.
We did our fair share of not doing shit.
Say that's kind of like think of like so much of not doing shit turned into all right, we gotta do something creative here. We gotta be
We gotta do some shit.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So where are you from in fucking Michigan?
So I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan, over on the west side. This is a classic little move here. I don't know which one of my cameras, but I'm on the west side of the state in Grand Rapids. And yeah, just in touring and shit, I've met Karl. And like I said, this was never supposed to play a show. So it was just like, yeah, we'll get guys from all over. Who cares? Like, make this group chat. Let's write some songs. And then 2021, summer of 2021, shows were starting to come back, and we were like, oh, like we got an offer to play a show. Should we do this? That'd be pretty fun. And then from there, it's like show, tour, tour, tour. And it's like, oh, now we've toured Europe. It's like, what the fuck? How did this all happen?
How fucking cool is that though, right?
Amazing.
This little
Cool.
like we're playing a game. Shit, let's do something fun. And then boom, like, hold on, we're in fucking Europe?
Dude,
What
I
the
know.
hell
I
just
mean,
happened?
there's a lot of moments where we're in Germany riding scooters at night, and then Carl and I would just look at each other and be like, dude, imagine if you didn't send me that text.
And I think that's what makes everything feel so special is like it all just feels like house money. Like none of this was ever forced. Like we just are making the music that we want to make, that we like, and whatever happens, happens. And that's been the mindset of this band since we decided to play our first show, and it'll be our mindset up until our last show.
That's fucking that's actually a really killer way to look at it, right? Like how often do you get the opportunity to meet someone where you fucking mesh so well musically and secondarily like actually do something and it's doing something. You're like, hold the fuck on,
Yep.
that's like what 2% of all bands.
Dude, it's like that's why I take everything as like it's just amazing, a blessing.
Yeah, we're very fortunate.
Very fortunate for sure.
That's fucking dope. So I asked about Michigan because I grew up in Michigan, like
Oh, where?
Detroit area.
Nice. Yeah, my fiance's from the other side of the state. Got a lot of friends over there. What area are you from?
Detroit.
Yeah, awesome. It's great.
Yeah. No, so it's like I wasn't right in Detroit. I was right outside. I was like Wayne Westland, Canton, Garden City.
Shout out Wayne County, baby.
Yeah, shout out Wayne County. I love Wayne County.
Shout out to the guy who does all the Wayne County videos on Instagram.
Oh,
He's fucking
that
man.
dude, I love the shit out of that dude. He cracks me the fuck up.
Our hearts are off, boys. It's summer.
I fucking love that dude. Anytime I get his videos, I'm like, I gotta click on his profile and watch more.
Oh, dude, yeah, I go through the rabbit hole on his. He's so good.
Yeah, dude, because it's literally fucking nails it so good.
You see that guy at the gas station. Like, anytime I'm over there, like my fiance's family's from over the other side of the state, got a lot of friends over there too. You see that guy in front of you in Speedway buying a Mountain Dew, and you're like, "Yep, we're home, baby."
Yeah, it's fucking great. So, how did Blue Grape come into the mix and snag you all?
Yeah, so we were on Triple B for a couple of releases. Shout out our boy Sam, who's my other band, Never Ending Game, is still Triple B. He did amazing stuff for us, and Blue Grape, through some mutual friends and conversations, just kind of came up. I talked to Dave over there on the phone a bunch, and we met in person, and it just felt like they would give us the resources to kind of move into that next echelon, and they have been amazing to work with. I'm obviously a massive fan of all of the 90s Roadrunner bands. I mean, I got the fucking Biohazard poster right there. So for me, it was like a cool nostalgia thing. And then when you actually met them and we talked about like what the future could be, just seemed like the right move. And so far it has been unbelievable. They provide us with incredible resources. You hear so many horror stories about labels, and it's been the exact opposite scenario for us. And I just can't say enough great things. It's been really awesome and really pumped to have the record come out with them.
Yeah, just ditto on everything Will just said. They're just,
Just
Susie, great. Yeah, co-sign everything. Yeah, they're great. Yes, Triple B, amazing hardcore label. It just felt like the right move at the right time, and to Will's point, everything so far has just been incredible. So shout out to Blue Grape and Dave and Susie and everyone else involved. It's been very seamless transition, and they have been nothing but great to us.
That's that it's so refreshing to hear that, because so many times you hear the fucking horror stories. Oh, dude, they promised us the world, and before I knew it, they were fucking me without any lube. And you're like, come on, can you at least ditty me and get a little baby oil in there? Like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. It's crazy because like all of my label experiences in my 12 plus years probably now playing music, like not that long, but have been great. Like I really haven't had a terrible label experience. So I'm definitely thankful for that. But I think we also like did the due diligence of making sure it was the right move. And I think a lot of times bands will just sign whatever gets in front of them, and it's like, did you really take the time to think this over and look it over? And we definitely took our time and got into a fair compromise of what made sense for everybody. So for anybody who ever gets in those label conversations, like don't let them force your hand and like sign right away, because then you're gonna.
It took us about a year from start to finish to get everything done. I'm really, really grateful that we all, decided to really pump the brakes and take our time and do our homework and, end up making the decision that's best for the band. So yeah, that is something that's super important, is kind of just taking your time and making sure you're doing the right thing for yourselves.
That's so important. I'm glad you guys brought that up. I think all too often bands are, for lack of a better term, right? They like see stars, right? And they're like, oh my God, the label's going to sign us. Like, they're going to take care of us. And someone's saying, oh, dude, we're going to do this and that for you, and everything's great. And in like my day job, I know if it's not on fucking paper, I don't give a shit what someone says to you. Right.
Exactly.
Like, and that's so important when it comes to like label contracts. You have to fucking really dig into it and understand what you're signing, because if there are any fucking questions, you're going to be disappointed when it comes out, because you're not going to fucking know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So just, you gotta take the time to do the due diligence. When I started playing guitar, I didn't want to read contracts, but unfortunately that is the world you live in when you want to get things out there in the world. So as much as it sucks, you just gotta dig in and just like take care of business.
Yeah, dude, they call it a music business for a reason.
Right.
Like through so many years, and so many bands have just been fucking raped, like raked over the coals. And like TLC, I mean, even talking with the I Hate God dudes, and they tell their horror stories. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I think for like I Hate God, what they did is I don't know the specifics of what really got them in trouble with their label or the issues they had, but I know it forced them to go to really evaluate like, what are we going to do? Okay, we're going to write, we're going to record, we're going to own everything and
Right.
we'll license it out.
Yep.
Like, fuck.
It's just funny though. You never think of these things when you're just playing guitar in your room. You're like, fuck, I gotta think about that now too. I thought I just had
Yeah, it's fucking
I have the
stupid.
riffs and some brains. Shit, I might be in trouble.
Well, that's, I'm sure that it wasn't just the band. You guys probably have someone like on your side, maybe an IP lawyer or someone that could help
Yeah,
you.
we had a
with the
great team
contract.
around us, and shout out to our manager Mike, one of my best friends, who helped
Yep.
a lot, and his whole company. So yeah, it was not just us alone. We had a great team around us to figure it out, and
Good.
it's just it's wild to be sitting in this position now, but it's great.
That's fucking awesome. And that's another thing like is we can't expect ourselves to know literally everything. So to get the team around you that you trust
Yep.
to guide you in those directions is super, super important.
It takes a village, as you say.
Big thing for me was and I think I can speak for the rest of us too, is when we decided to kind of, take things more serious as a band, to keep our circle people that we are friends with, just kind of keep everything, quote, in-house as much as we can, so having Mike, manage us and stuff, it's awesome. I mean, he's the man. He's been our good friend for long time. So perfect scenario.
The first guy I ever toured with is who's managing us now. So it's like keeping it in-house in the family. It just feels right.
Well, that's, it's funny you guys mentioned that because when you look at some of these more successful people, that's exactly what they do, right? Like the people are in their circle because they fucking trust them.
It's all trust.
Yeah, if I can trust you, let's make some music, and in what capacity can we help each other?
Yeah.
Not just how can you help me? It's like how can we help each other?
We're gonna grow together. Exactly.
Yeah, like Max Cavalera, dude,
That's right.
his fucking crowd, whatever band he's in, the whole crowd is there with them. Bill
100%.
Anselmo, same fucking thing, right? So it's good you guys fucking recognize that early.
Hell yeah.
So let's talk about the album. I'm trying to look at my notes because I'm like, I have so much going on in my brain right now. Poetry from pain, from praying. What the fuck? Trying to like make up new words and shit. So it's coming out May 30th on Blue Grape. Walk me through like the writing process for you guys, like where your heads were at and what was the ultimate goal, and did it change while you were going through it?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm always writing stuff. I think all of us were always playing different side projects and like just writing for different things. So as soon as the record No Good at Goodbyes came out, we started just writing some more tracks. The very first riff I wrote is the main riff in Tombstone, that kind of stompy, inspired by Kiss and Pantera, and I would say Rob Zombie. Those are the three main influences for that riff. So that's the first thing I wrote, and I sent it to the guys, and I was like, what do we think about this? And they're like, this is fucking crazy. Sweet. So from there, it's just like kind of building on different tracks, different riff ideas. I'm always demoing things. Us being spread apart, the amount of times we can get together is limited. So a lot of demoing and just texting and talking on the phone as like what makes sense from a song standpoint. And I was really proud on this record. Everyone came together and wrote different parts of the record, which was really cool. Xavier, the other guitar player, a phenomenal, incredible guitar player, had a lot of really great ideas and full song structures that we're able to compare on and like collaborate on and really workshop and like get down to what the song should be. So he had a few really great songs on the record. So it was cool to like have everybody come together on this one and like have their own flair to it, which for me like took it to the next level. Previous records, like even the very first demo, it was just me and Karl and Mully just kind of like doing whatever. But this one was like way more refined. Like I get so crazy sicko brain when it comes to writing where I'm like, well, that part it has to be a 1 instead of a 0. Like those little minute things to me, like I have to get perfect. Yeah. And Xavier's exactly the same way. And so is Lennon on bass and Mully on drums and Karl on vocals. Like everyone looks at things under the craziest microscope. And for me, it's really cool to have this final product that I'm super proud of. So it took about 3 years really to kind of piece it together. And for me, it's like once we had the recording date down, that's when I know like, all right, it's time to put like pedal to the metal, let's figure these songs out. They're like 80% of the way there, but they need a little more refining. And then the final like icing on the cake is Karl's lyrics, because we always do song structure first and then we'll do lyrics after. And so it's never like we're writing a song, really, I guess, besides still playing for keeps. We're never like writing a song that's catered to a particular like rap part. It's just like whatever Karl thinks of is going to go on top, and it usually turns out fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. So, you know, do you feel like with you all getting together, you know, being able to do this, that this is a more cohesive effort than, you know, than even, you know, no goodbyes from 22?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. It definitely feels like from top to bottom, it's one cohesive moment, and there's ebbs and flows, which is really cool. And the last record was just kind of like in your face the whole way through, not as much. I don't want to say thought, because there's a lot of thought that went into it, but there's just more microscope level looking at these things, I'd say, in the new record.
That's
Yeah, I
fucking
think on
cool.
the past record, we kind of paved our lane, and on this record, we, you know, really put the pedal to the metal and went full speed down that lane.
Hell yeah. That's fucking cool. I don't know if you could tell. I'm smiling like a motherfucker right now because this is like I absolutely love this. Like and seeing the look on both of your faces like talking about this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, this is what I truly care about in life. Like, putting together a record, like, you have this idea for a song, and then you hear the final product, and you're like, damn, all those hours of like tinkering with it in the lab, and it comes out exactly how you wanted it to, or maybe it's different than how you wanted it to, but it's even better than what you could have imagined. Like, for me, if I could have one, if it was either play live shows the rest of your life or record music, I'd pick record music, because that, like, week to 2 weeks you're in that we've been in the studio, like, that is the best time for me, where like you're thinking of ideas, someone comes up with this cool idea and you throw it in there and it works, and like it's just the best when you're with the boys, just like hunkered down, creating some music.
It's constant
Yep.
creativity, dude. Like that is such a there are bands that they live for live and bands that live to create. And I no, you know, I'm not like shitting on either one in any way because I think both of them like they cater to everyone.
Totally.
You know, like I love fucking seeing, watching and hearing bands create because it's they go in with, I mean, one of my favorite things is listening to like demos of songs and then hearing the finished product and you're like, "Oh, that sounds nothing like that at all. How
Yep.
fucking cool."
Awesome.
Yep.
To go in with an idea. And I'd say most of the ideas are pretty baked, but there's a few things that like just change in the studio, and you're like, wow, never thought about doing that. That's fucking awesome now. And that just comes with everyone being in the same room and just building off each other's ideas. And that's why I say like recording is so much fun to me. Love playing shows, obviously, but some of that recording that I just love doing with the guys.
Yeah, it's that passion and the you know, I guess I would assume that it's like the finality when you're done, it's like this is it. This is
Yep.
exactly how it should sound. We're fucking done.
You got it. Yep, exactly.
That's fucking cool as shit. Let's start with Karl because Will, I love you, but you've been talking a lot, dude.
I'm taking the ball too much, man.
I know. You're like, I'm fucking ball hog. Get away.
I'm Jason Kidd when I gotta be Jason Kidd.
So Karl, what song on the album to you like stands out more than anything else?
I mean, it's probably the Still Playing for Keeps remix. That's a song that I've always, you know, I grew up as a kid, I loved Limp Bizkit, you know, as did many people in my age range.
And still fucking
So,
do.
you know, the Rollin' Air Raid Assault track with, you know, DMX and Method Man and Redman. That was a huge inspiration for this track. I've always wanted to do something like that. So we just pulled guitars from a song that we recorded in the past for a comp, and shout out to our boys Felons and Nick Herman. They you know, took the guitars and turned it into a beat, and then we just hit up three of, you know, my favorite current underground hip hop artists, Daniel Sun, Pro Dillinger, and Jay Royale. And, you know, they all loved the vision. They saw what we were trying to go for with it. And I think it turned out better than I could have ever imagined. So that is definitely the track that sticks out for me the most. It's just a total curveball for the rest of the record. And that's kind of what I wanted to go for with that one.
Yeah, that is definitely a standout track because it is so different from everything else, but it is a solid fucking song. Like it ranks right up there with the rest of them. There's not, in my mind, there's not a piece of shit on the album. You know
Well,
what I mean?
thanks. Thanks, man. We
Like,
tried not putting any pieces of shit on this one,
yeah,
so
not too many. It came out pretty fucking good. Like,
thanks, man.
hey, what about you, Will?
I would say my top track, or the one that really stands out to me, man, it's hard. It's like picking your favorite child, man. That's a
Oh, I've got a favorite child. Fuck the other one. No, I'm just kidding.
sorry to the other kid if you're listening
Yeah.
to this. You're great. Don't ever let your dad.
I didn't say any names, so no one knows.
Yeah, they don't
shit.
know what won. Yeah, they got a 50-50 chance of it being them, so
I'm gonna go with 26-9, the opening track, because it's just a bruiser from top to bottom. It's like all of my favorite bands that I worship combined into one track, and it just sets the tone for the record. And it's got a huge mosh part at the end that I love. That's just like super influenced by all the 90s stuff that I love. And it's got like a very Cannibal Corpsey feel to it, which is like one of my favorite bands of all time. So I see the poster behind you, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 26-9.
Fuck yeah. That's good. And that one kind of surprised me. Well, only the name surprised me because you had 25-8 on the last one and now 26-9. And I was like, okay, I kind of see. Now I'm waiting for fucking 27-10. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Never know.
it's coming. P3.
So I'll tell you, the two standouts for me, obviously, I'm not gonna count, still playing for keeps. Like that one, that's an obvious fucking standout. But Best Served Cold and Tombstone, like the way Tombstone opens to me is like, holy fuck.
Awesome, man. Love to hear that. Yeah, that one, Best
you.
Served Cold, was a song that Xavier wrote. So he wrote that track, and then I helped and we collabed on the end breakdown part. So that one just like to me is more kind of classic Gridiron, like super metallic, in your face, big like octave sliding chorus, and then like a big mosh part at the end. So that one was just kind of like an ode to like what we really are at our core. And then Tombstone is just kind of doing something a little different, a little more stompy. We kind of got into a little bit of that territory on the record before with Brothers in Arms, which is a little more in that kind of bolt thrower, stompy feel. But that one is just kind of like another ode to like more of the big arena metal. I just love arena metal tracks. And that song with like the huge kind of Pantera feeling, Metallica mosh part in the middle, and this big chorus with like some singing. It's just it's a fun song.
I think that's what's really cool about you guys is you throw in so many different elements. Like I love Madball, dude, but Madball is Madball. When you hear a song, it's like
This is
that.
Madball. You know you're listening to Madball.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want when you listen to a band, right? And you guys I think you have a common like gridiron theme throughout, but the sounds change, which is fucking for any like I'm gonna call it rap rock, but you guys know, like, I mean, no disrespect by it, but
Not a derogatory way.
yeah, definitely not derogatory at all. But it has not what someone would consider the traditional like rap rock fucking guitars behind it,
Right.
So
I mean,
I guess
to me, like
similar to fucking Body Count.
exactly. It's like, but the body count, the biohazard, like trying to have, you mentioned it earlier, like crushing guitars to me is very important to have like a very good guitar tone. And like a lot of the rap rock stuff won't do that. So it's just
Right.
like kind of just doing our own take on it and just kind of just doing whatever we want. You say that there's like this common thread. Have you ever been to a Golden Corral?
Yeah.
So it's like Gridiron is like going to Golden Corral. You're inside of Golden Corral, but there's all these different items, but you're still at Golden Corral. That is Gridiron.
I don't
Always-
like Golden Corral. Like it was my dad's favorite place to fucking eat. And I was like, Dad, I love you, dude, but there's so much better food out there. So I'm sorry.
For a Las
You guys-
Vegas buffet.
How about Old Country Buffet?
I don't even know what Old Country Buffet is, but
They went bankrupt. So
Yeah,
hopefully
so-
Gridiron like Old Country Buffet.
no.
We're the Bellagio. We're the Bellagio buffet.
Okay. Yeah.
You get a little
Whatever.
snow crab. Yeah,
high class strip
bone.
club where you're fucking getting the buffet right off the naked body. That's what you guys are.
There we go. I like that. Let's elevate it.
Elevate it. But let's not forget the naked bodies. Like, good shit. So, so far, you guys just been together a few years. Like, what has been some of those like pinnacle live show moments for you?
For me, our first record release, I think, was like one of the most special shows that we've played. It was, 15 minutes away from where I grew up. It was at a really, really cool venue. The show was like packed to the gills. The vibes were just incredible. That was a very, very special show for me. Probably one of, if not the most special show for me.
Yeah, that
What
was
venue?
Polish Club in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Shout out Pierogies.
that's right. I'd say that was an amazing show. That's definitely up there for me. I think probably when we played Outbreak Fest in the UK in Manchester this past summer, that was like the biggest show I've ever played in my life. The crowd brought it. The energy was amazing from top to bottom, from the opening band to the ending band. It was just like one of those moments where you get off stage and you're like, holy shit, we really just did that. That was incredible.
That's fucking awesome. I love those shows. You get off and you're like, whoa, hold on. Did that really just fucking happen?
Yeah, then you go back and you watch the video and you're like, dude, I don't remember any of this. Like that was I like blacked out during all of this.
That's not drunk, blacked out, right?
No, just so much adrenaline of just like
Yeah.
you feel like you can lift a truck after,
Fuck yeah. I just wanted to clarify.
Hey, I'm no stranger to a couple of brewskis, but I'm not usually getting blacked out during a set.
Not on stage. I'm not blacking out.
Right, right.
Not for that reason. That's fucking cool. What has been so obviously, Phoenixville being one of those venues, what other venues do you guys really like fucking like going and playing at when you get out on the road?
My favorite venue is 30 minutes away from me. My favorite hardcore venue, and that's the First Unitarian Church in Philadelphia. I mean, that is just like, I think it embodies everything about hardcore. It's in a basement. It's always hot and uncomfortable, which is like hardcore is like should, it's an uncomfortable culture.
Hot, sweaty, and close. That's what's gonna happen.
Sweaty and close. And, it's just, I've seen so many amazing bands in the basement of that church. And it's just probably one of the most infamous hardcore venues in the country. So that's got to be number one for me.
Yeah. I would go. Past few years, we played in Detroit, the Russell Industrial Center at Tide Down Fest. Shout out our boys Jimmy and Curtis over there, and
Legends.
it's just an incredible, huge warehouse space, and they pack it out. And from like a bigger stage standpoint, that one has been incredible. Obviously, love playing in Detroit and various other places. Tangent Art Gallery, Refuge, Skate Shop in Dearborn. Played a lot of shows there over the years. There's just so many great. It's so hard to pick. Like there's so many. Every city has like that one venue that just like keeps it going, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's the reason I asked that is because one, like a lot of these venues I've been to or I know of, like the fucking church. I think Strife just played a show there with 25 to Life. What?
Yeah, that was the day the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a matinee show, and then the real show at night was the Super Bowl. Yeah. You're not an Eagles fan?
No, I'm a Lions fan.
Yeah, brother. One pride, brother.
That's it. Dude, when they went 0-16, everyone's like, "You're a Lions fan?" I'm like, dude, I born and raised. I will fucking live and die Lions. Like, if they're 0-16, I'm still going. Let's fucking go. Like, come on.
That's what I'm talking about. You're a true diehard.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
my
cute,
wife.
guys.
That's cute. We got a little bromance going on.
You're a real motherfucker, Karl. You know that?
I fucking love you guys. This is fun. I'm going to be in Detroit here in probably like 2 weeks.
Oh, hell yeah.
2 weeks from tomorrow, I'm coming up my fucking birthday. This band I absolutely love is playing at L Club. So I'm like,
yeah, L Club's another great venue.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
God, dude, I don't know, like years ago, we would go to St. Andrews Hall, and that place was a fucking shithole. But they have like it
That area
looks
is
so
awesome now.
good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of shows at St. Andrews Hall. Never had the chance to play there yet. I played the shelter downstairs, but never got a
Yep.
chance to play the proper stage. Hope we can do that one day for sure. But yeah, that area is really great now.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's it's nice to see like Detroit really come back to from what it was. It was such a piece of shit place where like you don't want to go downtown. Stay the fuck away from there. And now I'm like, hey, let's go downtown.
It's the whole area where Comerica and Ford Field and then down the street Little Caesars it's awesome. I love going to any games down there and lots of good food and yeah, it's awesome.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, lots of good food. And I just went to the Comerica for the first time ever, not last year, year before
Yeah.
last. And I was like, holy shit, this place been here 20 fucking years. I'd never been here.
Yeah, it's awesome. Go Tigers.
Yeah.
I
Oh
was loving
shit.
it. Really engaged.
I know. Hey, Carl, you all right over there, buddy?
All right, we can move away.
Once we start discussing relevant teams, then I'll be back.
Oh.
I'll be back in.
Talking about the best
shit.
team in baseball, the Detroit Tigers.
Tiger Stadium, never been to Tiger Stadium, been outside of it. Looks awesome. I would love to go to a game there. We did go to Eagles Lions a couple years ago at Ford Field. We had a show in Toronto the day before, so we just drove from Toronto to Detroit and we went to the game, and that was an awesome experience. Ford Field is really, really cool. I'm usually anti-dome stadiums. I think football is meant to be played outside, but that stadium is really sick.
It's,
30,
that
was a crazy game.
they've come like sports have come so fucking far away from what they were. And to see like especially Detroit, because I remember going to old Tiger Stadium and it was like your steps are crumbling under your feet. You're like, God, I hope the fucking thing doesn't collapse. Like,
My dad's got a couple seats from Tiger Stadium in the backyard of my parents' house.
fuck yeah. I had some sod from when they won the 84 World Series.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
God, come on, guys, get your shit together. We gotta fucking get back
We're
there.
talking about 84 right now.
I know. Fucking motherfucker. Okay, back to the music.
All right. We're back.
So let's talk about like the bands or artists that really introduced you guys into the music that you're fucking playing today. Like who were some of those artists?
So I started I discovered hip hop way before I ever knew what hardcore was. I have two older brothers that always like put me on to shit when I was like really young. They let me borrow like their Wu-Tang Forever CD or like the Locks Money Power Respect CD. So, I was probably like, I don't know, 10 when I started listening to this shit. Like I was really young. And later I discovered like Limp Bizkit. And, it was like, wow, so it's still like rap, which I know about and I love. And it adds this whole new element of like aggressive, heavy instruments. And from there, I used to just listen to Limp Bizkit a lot. And then, once I started like finding what hardcore was, I discovered bands like Biohazard and E-Town Concrete and these bands that just meshed hip hop and hardcore together. Those are the style and types of bands that have pulled me in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my path was my dad has always been in radio and he now owns his own radio station in Grand Haven, Michigan. Shout out 103.5 WAWL. But he always put me on to tons of classic rock. Like we were a big classic rock and like 80s hair metal family. That's just like what my mom grew up on that side. My dad, big classic rock guy. So we always like music was always kind of ever present in the house. Especially like with my dad was in sports radio, but with any radio station, music's just around like Boston and any type of band, like lots of guitar stuff, Kiss, Boston, all of that shit. And then I got into punk, so like Ramones and Sex Pistols, like every kid kind of goes through these different waves. Moved to Texas when I was younger and got really into Pantera from a friend in school. And then I think from that moment, I just like was trying to find whatever the next heavy thing was. So it was like Pantera and Metallica, and then going a level deeper and deeper, deeper, deeper. Eventually you bottom out, and now I feel like I listen to like more Metallica, Megadeth than like anything else, which is funny. But yeah, just like going down the rabbit hole, talking with your friends. You find this blog, you read about these blogs, you download whatever, you download the Marauder record, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is now what I love. And like, then you find all these other bands, and so it's like going down the rabbit holes. I would just like sit on my laptop and read all these different blog spots, and then just download these zip files, or like go to the FYE and like buy whatever CD. So it was just like trying to find. It was like chasing the dragon. I wish I could like Men in Black myself so I could go back and like discover all these bands and listen to these records for the first time, because that era of like trying to find that band that's like gonna connect with you is such a cool
That's
feeling.
that hunt, dude, is so great. And it's like listening to your story kind of depresses me a little bit. It makes me feel really fucking old. Like when we were finding bands, it was either someone told you about them or you went to the record store and found a really cool looking album and hoped it sounded good when you got home. Sometimes you're getting home and you're like, dude, this thing's evil. And you get it and it's like, Meatloaf. What the fuck?
Meatloaf is awesome. We
Paradise
gotta put some
Lost
respect
Court
on
Light.
Meatloaf.
But
Rest in peace.
I'm not shitting on Meatloaf, but it was not what you're anticipating looking at that fucking Bat
Fair.
Out of Hell
That's
cover.
fair.
It's so weird like to talk about the generation. So I turned 30 this week, and like I'm in this realm, but then there's kids now I'm meeting at shows, and it's like everything's just on Spotify and social media, and you can just find music so much easier now. So it's weird to like hear from different sides of the spectrum of how you got into this music. And it's like I'm in this generation where I started at CD stores and like got into like blog spots and stuff. And it's like a very specific time frame where people did that. And now it's just like floodgates are open. You can find anything anywhere, which is awesome. Like it leads to bands being able to do a lot quickly. But you kind of miss some of that hunt, I feel like, you know?
Yeah, well, you do. And like one of the coolest things is I like taking my kids to shows. And now, mind you, my kids are not really kids. They're fucking 18 and 20, but we're actually going to a show tomorrow and I'm super fucking excited to like
Who are you seeing?
we're going to go see Sparta. So, do you guys know At the Drive-In?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So At the Drive-In, when they broke up, they turned into Sparta and the Mars Volta.
Yep.
So I've been a Sparta fan for a lot of years, and a couple of years ago we took the kids on a cross country road trip. We just fucking all hopped in a van and like drove out west and drove back. Yeah, we were like what can we fucking do? We'd stop, I think twice we stayed for multiple days, but like it was almost like we drive a state a fucking day.
That's awesome.
So 16 days on the road, and by the end you're like, just like being in a band, you're like, God, this fucking sucks. I just want to be in my own fucking bed.
Yeah,
Fuck you guys.
Where's my couch?
Yeah. So I turned my son onto this band and he's like, I really like them. Well, they played locally. So I live in Louisville, Kentucky now.
I was just there last weekend.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
So they played a show here at Headliners, which is a super cool venue. And I was like, hey, dude, you want to go? He's like, yeah. So we like went and did the VIP experience. It was like $50. Like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Let's go have fun. And it was the super cool thing was the band comes out. Jim, the front guy, did 2 songs acoustically because they were doing an album in full, and then came out and hung out and chatted with us for like 30 fucking minutes. And I'm like, this is the kind of VIP experience everyone fucking really wants.
Yep.
Well, so they're playing Indianapolis tomorrow, and I'm like, hey, dude, like, do you got to work? He's like, no, I'm off. I'm like, cool. Let's go to fucking Indianapolis and see Sparta. And he's like, yes.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
But so to my kids have grown up around heavy music for the last 13-ish years. And we go to fucking shows. We go to shows of bands where people are like, what is that fucking name?
Right.
And all my friends, a couple of my old fucking friends from Michigan, like, are you going to go see Rat Piss tonight? Like, shut up, dude.
I mean, no, I get it. I mean, this weekend here, it's a crazy week. So Friday is Tsunami and Pain of Truth here. And then Saturday is Cradle of Filth and Dying Fetus. And then Sunday, I'm going to see Orgy. So
That's fucking dope.
Pretty
Like
crazy
combo.
music weekend coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, ours is we're about 2.5 weeks out. We've got Melvin's and Napalm Death one night.
That'll be sick.
and,
Hell yeah.
Like, fuck yeah. And like 2 nights later, it's Obituary, Terror, Nails,
Yeah.
Pest Control.
That tour is awesome. Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
sick tour.
So I'm like, I can't fucking wait, dude. It's going to be heavy as shit. So I take the kids to the shows, and I'm always, let's get there early. Let's catch the opening act, because if they're good, you're in for a fucking treat.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, man. That's
And if
such
they
a good
suck,
mindset.
you know not to watch them next time.
I'd be curious what your kids think of the Gridiron record. I feel like there's a good connection point, but like there's something for everybody in that. I feel like they'd probably get down with it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll have to see. I'll play it tomorrow in the fucking car on the
There
way
we
there.
go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
so I'll at least get one of the kids. The other one's like, nah, I'm gonna go hang out with my boyfriend. Stay away. Like,
Okay, right.
whatever. Like, motherfucker. So what brought you down to Louisville last weekend?
So I played in another band called Never Ending Game, and we played a fest in Louisville called LDB Fest. It
Oh
was
yeah.
like a convention center type place right outside the
Yeah, it
city.
was at Riot Skate Park, I think. Or was it at Triple Crown
It used to
Pavilion?
be.
Triple Crown Pavilion.
It used to be at the skate park, right?
Yeah, at one point it was, I think. So we
Yeah.
were just down there. So we just drove down. I just drove back yesterday. So
Right on.
yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah. They that fucking LDB has done, it's like taking the place of like Crazy Fest. Crazy Fest used to be the fucking the hardcore fest, and everyone came to it, dude.
Long time ago, I played Mag Bar.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, and we played Spinelli's, the pizza shop. So yeah, Louisville's great. I love the city.
There's a lot of really cool shit here. There's a venue, it's a couple or a few years old, called Portal. So Fit for an Autopsy just played there. Fuck, who else? Oh, Kubla Khan, the last time they were in town, played there. When Knocked Loose was doing their like big album release shows for this album, they did a last minute show at Portal, and that fucking thing was nuts.
I bet it was nuts. They're the kings of Louisville.
Yeah, that they fucking are. And good for them, dude. Like, anyone doing something that they love and like just being legit like you guys, I want nothing but all the fucking success in the world for you, because it's I just see it on your faces, like how fucking happy you are. Like, that's
Yeah, man. I
all I
mean,
want.
thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad it comes through.
Yeah, thanks.
We're like, I always say we're like the most serious, unserious band. Like we take what we do and like the music super seriously, but at the same time, it's like purely for fun. And like Karl always says, like the moment it's not fun, it's like, let's not fucking do this anymore. So it's fun to have it. We just have, like he said, the house money thing. It's just like, it all feels good.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So, Karl, I'm not going to ask you what guitar you play, because that would be a waste of time. So, Will, walk us through your like setup, dude.
Yeah, man. So for the record, I recorded it on a Mesa triple rec that I've had for a long time. Recorded a lot of records on it. Shout out to my boy Zach Hiltonen, who I've had his head captive at my house for about 12 years. And eventually I'm just going to give it back to him and be like, okay, I've done my time with this thing. He's the best. For the fact he hasn't like come and robbed me is amazing. So shout out to him. So use the triple rec. We used a Xavier played an LTD on the record. I played an Ibanez RG that I've had since like high school. That's just like my baby. I use it for everything. But I just kind of bounce around between different guitars. I've got Jacksons, Ibanez, LTDs. I'm not endorsed by anybody. Would love one at some point if anybody's listening.
I was going to say, it
Oh.
sounds like someone needs a fucking endorsement
Sounds
here.
like someone needs something. So I'm not going to pledge my allegiance anywhere. I'll have all the hats on the table like when they get drafted. The different brands. But yeah, I recorded the record mainly on the Ibanez, which just has an epic tone to it. So as far as so Mesa triple rec, and I go bare bones, man. Like I don't really play live. I got an NS2 noise suppressor, a tuner, about fucking it. Like on the new record, there's definitely some more areas where there's some pedals introduced that we're gonna have to add to the chain. But I try to keep as bare bones as possible and not add in so many little parts and pieces. I'm like, fuck, what am I doing here? I just want to be able to plug in, go, rip it up, have a heavy tone.
Well, so I think that's really cool that you do that, because so often, especially when you introduce the fucking pedal board and there's 20 pedals on there, if something's wrong,
Yep.
you're like, I got to go through all of it and figure it the fuck out.
What's a nice thing about us too? It's like at its core, it's just heavy, distorted guitar. And that's what I always wanted it to be. Yeah, there's little add-ons here and there, but I try not and go too crazy. We're not like a band that's gonna have clean parts, and it's fucking brutal guitar, and that's what I want to keep it as.
Fuck yeah. God, that's fucking cool. Let's just crush this shit.
That's all it is, man. Let's keep it simple.
So with you guys at LDB, was there a fucking band that like jumped out at you that you didn't expect was gonna kick your dick in the dirt?
One band that I had never seen before that was super heavy and crazy was this band Peeling Flesh.
Yeah.
They're fucking sick. They played right before my other band, Never Ending Game, and they were tight, man. Like I'd never seen them. I'd listened to the record and I was like, oh, this is cool. But they were super heavy and crazy. So that was on one end of the spectrum. And then a band called Haywire, who's just like straight bones, hardcore, most insane set I've ever seen in my entire life. Like the entire crowd was on stage at one point singing along. It was like it blew my mind. It was incredible. So two opposite ends of the spectrum from a sonic standpoint, but both those were like amazing. It was a great time. Everyone had really great sets, and it was awesome.
That's fucking cool. Did it sell out this year? I feel like it was pretty close.
I think it was close to selling out. Yeah, it was awesome. It just had a good vibe, and the sound on stage was good. Like that's my barometer. I'm like, as long as I can hear things and someone cares, then that's all I care about.
Yeah, that's fair. I think they did an LDB like pre-show at Portal actually.
It was absolutely cool.
Yeah, with Dying Wish and No Cure.
Yes, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I did not make that show, and I've been bummed.
I've been chilling.
That would have been, dude. Yeah, I gotta like last week was a tough week. I was in fucking I did a up and back trip to fucking Pittsburgh for Meshuggah, Cannibal Corpse, and Carcass.
Yeah, what a lineup.
Shout out Pittsburgh.
Shout out Pittsburgh. Shout out our boy Ty Dawson.
Clinic.
Yeah, like stage AE. I was like, oh, what's this? And then I didn't realize it was American Eagle. I'm like, what the fuck? But whatever. It was a cool venue.
Carcass is so fucking sick.
Dude, that whole fucking bill. I saw him in at the Fillmore in Detroit too.
Nice.
And that like both shows were absolutely phenomenal. Like Carcass and Cannibal Corpse, you know what you're getting every fucking show. And Meshuggah, like they're so tight, and every time I see them, their light show's different. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
crazy.
fuck.
Yeah, they put a lot of effort into it, it makes you want to up your game. You're like, shit, man, we gotta up this a little bit. Their production value is incredible.
It is, dude. And I think so with so many people walking away going, wow, it is a testament to the crew that Meshuggah has, because not every crew can just go out there night after night and put it fucking together. Like their lighting techs, dude, in my mind, second to none.
100%. One day you'll see how a Gridiron. We'll have some controlled pyro going on.
Yeah. Listen, I expect to see that shit at Mag Bar. Like,
yeah, right. We'll try and make it happen.
Fuck yeah. I know a guy. Anytime you guys come to Louisville, hit me up, man.
Yeah.
I'll show you the city. We'll fucking have some fun.
Love it. Would love that.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Dude, Will, Karl, you guys are fucking awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I've had a lot of fucking fun tonight.
Yeah, this was awesome, Tom. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. This has been awesome. Appreciate you listening to the record and rocking with it, and hope to see you at a show soon.
For sure, dude. If you guys are in Louisville and maybe within driving distance, because I'm known to fucking make those trips.
Pittsburgh.
Dude, I probably do Michigan, if not every month, every other month. I'm there.
Great. Well, great to meet you, dude. We appreciate you having us.
Absolutely, Tom. Thank you. And go Birds.
One pride, baby. One pride. Go Tigers.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you too, man.